the bipolar technique and the simulation of a bipolar technique. So let's again recall it. So in bipolar technique, we compare the high frequency triangular wave with the reference signal, which is a sinusoidal waveform. The logic is when your sine wave is greater than triangle pulse, at that time generate the gate pulse. That is called as a VG1. And that VG1 that is applied to both the thyristor S1 and S2 simultaneously. Okay? And then exactly complementary of this exactly complementary of VG1, VG3 that is applied to thyristor S3 and S4 simultaneously. Okay? So you can see that at the output of this inverter you get this VAB voltage like this. In 1/2 cycle, if you take the average, you get the positive cycle. And if you join all this average point at each and every angle in 1/2 cycles, so that gives a half positive cycle. And same way in the negative half cycle, you get the half of the negative pulse. Okay. And if you do the FFT analysis, first simulate this and FFT analysis, so you find out that the dominant order harmonic in this case is MF plus minus 2, MF plus minus 4. Here MF is the frequency modulation ratio. Here we take the carrier wave frequency. It means this triangular frequency is 1000 Hz and this frequency of reference signal sine wave is 50 Hz. So MF is frequency of triangle divided by frequency of this reference signal. So here we take the reference signal 50 Hz and carrier is 1000. So frequency modulation ratio is 20. So first dominant order harmonic is 20. Then after 20 plus minus 2, it means 18 and 22. Same way, another dominant order harmonic is the next level is 2mm plus minus 2. It means 20 into 2 plus minus 1, 39 and 41. Same way here, this is a 37 and 43. So you can see that in the FFT analysis of this output voltage, you can get the order of the harmonics and find out that which one is dominant. So you can see that this is a 20. Surrounding that, you can see here 18 and 22. Same way here, you can see that that is 39 and 41. This is 37 and 43. This one. Same way, another next level harmonic is 3mm plus minus 2 is 60. 3mm is and 3mm plus minus 2 is 58 and 62. So you can see that here 60 is next level and this is a 58 and this is a 62. Clear? So these are the dominant order harmonics in the case of bipolar technique. Clear? So we compare with this technique with the unipolar technique with the same frequency of carrier signal and reference signal. So let's check that simulation of unipolar PWM technique. So the logic is the remains same as we see in the bipolar technique, but in this technique we take the two sine wave as a reference signal. So you can see that first sine wave is a positive sine wave and another is a sine wave with the 180° phase shift. It means first negative cycle start, this one, and then positive cycle start. Clear? So first we compare this positive sine wave with the high frequency triangle wave. Here triangle wave frequency is same 1000 Hz and reference signal sine wave frequency is 50 Hz. So again frequency modulation ratio is 20. Clear? Same as we taken in the bipolar technique. Now here when your sine wave, this sine wave, positive sine wave is greater than this triangle wave, at that time they generate the gate pulse VG1. Clear? And that gate pulse VG1 is applied to only switch number S1. Clear? Remember this thing, only applied to S1, not S1, S2. So exactly complementary of this gate pulse VG1, this is a VG4 that is not shown here, but exactly complementary of this VG1, that gate pulse applied to switch number S4 because S1 and S4 must be turned complementary. Otherwise, your supply will be short circuit. Same way here, S3 and S2 switch must be turned on in complementary fashion. Clear? So S1 gate pulse, we get VG1 exactly complementary, that is for switch number 4. Now, this negative gate pulse, this negative reference signal, you can see that here with 180° phase shift and triangle. If you compare both this waveform, again the logic is same. When your sine wave is greater than this triangle, you can see that between these 2 points, sine wave is greater than this triangle wave. So at that time, generate the gate pulse. This one, this is called as a VG3. So this VG3 is applied to switch number S3. This clear. And exactly complementary of this VG3 that is applied to S2. That is called as a VG2. That is not shown here. So this VG1 is the gate pulse for S1 and this is the gate pulse for switch number S3. Exactly complementary of VG1 that is called as VG4 and exactly complementary of VG3 that is called VG2. It means for switch number. Clear. So if you see the output voltage across the loop, so you get the positive voltage only in the positive half cycle. You can see here. You take the output voltage across the loop, you get the only positive output during the first half cycle and you get the negative output only in the next half cycle. Same again if you join all each and every average point at each and every angle point, so you get the sine wave like this way. If you compare this output voltage with the bipolar technique's output voltage, you can see that in the bipolar technique you get the output voltage in both the directions, positive as well as in negative cycle. You can see here in positive cycle you get positive as well as negative. But the thing is that the average value of the output voltage is remain positive in positive half cycle and average output voltage that is remains negative in negative half cycle. Clear. So that's why the name of this technique is bipolar technique because you get the positive as well as negative at any angle of whether it is positive cycle or negative half cycle. But in the case of unipolar technique, in first half cycle you get the positive and then after you get the negative. Clear. You can see that here you get the only positive output voltage, positive half cycle, and you get here only negative half cycle. So that's why it is called as a unipolar technique. Clear. So if you do the Fourier analysis of this output voltage, you see that what is the dominant harmonic in this. Clear. So let's first simulate this. So the simulation of this unipolar techniques, so you can easily understand. So here you can see that this is a single phase full bridge inverter. Here I take the 100 watt source voltage. Here I take the two sine wave 1 that is a positive sine wave, it is with phase radian of 0 degree, it means starting from the 0 angle and frequency is 50, so 2 pi into 50 and peak amplitude is 8. And as we know that peak amplitude of carrier signal, this one is higher than the peak of sine wave. So here I take the peak of carrier is 10. Clear. Same triangle is generated same like as we generated in the bipolar technique. Clear. Here frequency is 1000 Hz for this triangle frequency. Sine wave 2, same amplitude 8, frequency is 2 pi into 50, but phase radian is pi. It means first negative cycle start and then after positive cycle start. Clear. So you can see that I will use the relational operator greater than equal to and provide the two input, one from this sine wave 1 and another from this repetitive sequence, means triangular wave. Here, so this block generates the triangle and this is the sine wave of 50. So compare both this input and relational operator is greater than equal to, it means when sine wave is greater than triangle wave, at that time generate the gate pulse that we call as a VG1 and that apply to only and only switch number 1. Yeah, as you can see here in this theory, this VG1 that is for only and only S1 when your reference is greater than this triangle. Yeah. So this gate pulse that is VG1 and exactly complementary that apply to switch number 4. So you can see that the output of this relational operator given to the not logical operator and then output is applied to the switch number 4 gate terminal. Here. Clear. So when S1 is on at that time S4 must be in off condition. And when S4 is on at that time S1 must be in off condition. Clear. Both are in complementary. Same way here I compare this negative sine wave with this triangular wave. Here I use the logical operator less than equal to because my first input is triangle wave and second input is inverted sine wave. So when sine wave is greater than triangle wave, or you can see that when triangle wave is less than sine wave, they generate the output and that output is gate pulse for switch number S3. So you can see that output is applied to the gate of switch number S3 here. And exactly complementary of this gate pulse applied to switch number 2. You can see that output is applied to the non-logical operator and its output is here applied to this gate terminal here. This clear? So here you can see that all the 4 switches has 4 different gate pulses. So here I measure all these gate pulses one by one. So here in this code, I have measured the combination of all these 3 waves, first sine wave 1, sine wave 2 and repeating sequence, this triangle wave. So I combine this through this mux so that this mux convert this 3 input signal into single axis. So I can see all these 3 waveforms in the single axis. Let me see in this code. Second is the gate pulse of switch number 1. It means this one. This is the gate pulse of switch number 1. This one. And then after gate pulse of switch number 2. This is output of this logical operator provide the gate of switch 2. Then gate pulse of switch number 3 and then gate pulse of switch number 4. So here I measure all the gate pulses S1, S2, S3 and S4. And then here I take the resistive load, take the 1 ohm resistor and across it with the voltmeter, measure the voltage here in this axis here. And then last one is measure the current flowing into this load resistance. Okay. So I measure first all these 3 parameters, sine wave, triangle and inverted sine wave in the one axis. Then over the 4 switches gate pulse, output voltage and load current. Yeah. So let's run this simulation and see that what is the output of this unipolar PWM technique. So you can see that first axis that shows the combination of 3 waveforms. One is sine wave, positive sine wave, this is the inverted sine wave and this is a triangle. So all are combined in the same axis. Now logic we use to generate the gate pulse for switch 1 is when the sine wave is more than triangle wave. So you can see that between these 2 points from this to this here that provide the gate pulse, switch number S1. Here. And exactly complementary of this, that is a switch number 4 gate pulse. You can see here when here switch number 1 is on, at that time gate pulse of switch number 4 is 0. And when switch number 1 is off, it means 0 output. At that time, switch number 4 gate pulse is 1. Yeah. So S1 and S4 gate pulse is complementary. Same way, S2 is generated by comparing this inverted sine wave with the triangular wave. And when sine wave is higher than this triangular wave, at that time generate the gate pulse for switch number 3. This one. So you can see that here from this point to this point, your inverted sine wave magnitude is higher than this triangular wave. So that generates the gate pulse for switch number 3. This S3. You can see here. And exactly complementary of this, that is the gate pulse for switch number 2. S2. Clear? So these are the gate pulse and this 6th one is the output voltage. So you can see that in first half cycle you get only positive. But you can see that as we move from 0 to 90 degree, width of output voltage increases, and then from 90 to 180, width will decreases. So if you join each and every angle point, so you get the sine. Same way in the negative half cycle also, width is increasing from 180 to 270, and then 270 to 360, width is decreasing. So if you take the average, you get the sine wave half pulse in the negative direction. And this is the current waveform, which is in the same phase with the voltage because it will take the resistive loop. Yeah. So let's do the FFT analysis of this output voltage and check that what is the dominant of the harmonics. Yeah. So in the theory, first we see that what are the dominant of the harmonics. So in the theory, it says that the dominant of the harmonic is 2 MF plus minus 1. So here MF is 20 as we have taken in this bipolar technique. But here the dominant of the harmonic is 2 MF plus minus 1. It means 20 into 2 plus minus 1, so it is 39 and 41. So first dominant of the harmonic is 39 and 41. Yeah. And then after 2 MF plus minus 3, it means 37 and 43. Same way 2 MF plus minus 5, it means 35 and 45. Same way the next level, it is 4 MF plus minus 1. It means 79 and 71. Yeah. Same way MF plus minus 3 it is 77 and 83. Yeah, same way for the third level. So let's check that this harmonics you get or not by using the FFT analysis. So let's again run this simulation. Go into this PowerGF block, toolbox, FFT analysis, and select the output voltage axis. So you can see here in this scope, your output voltage axis is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. In the 6 axis, we measure this output voltage. Okay, so select the 6th input here. So you get the output voltage of 1 cycle here, because here we select the number of cycle 1, start time from 0, and frequency of fundamental frequency is 50 Hz. And maximum frequency I set 4500 Hz, means I can see the harmonics up to the order of 4500 Hz frequency. Okay. And here I want to show this harmonics in terms of bar chart, harmonic order. So click on this display here, and let's see this. What is the dominant order harmonics? So what is the first dominant order harmonics here?
37.
Yes. 39. Before this 40, you can see that 40 is almost 0 here. Before that, just that is 39. 39 is the first dominant order harmonic, and then you can see that just after 40, that is 41. So 39 and 41, that is the first dominant order harmonics. Then you can see that here in the theory it says that first dominant order harmonic is 2 MF plus minus 1. So here MF is what, 20. So 20 into 2 plus minus 1, so it is what, 39 and 41. So here we prove that by the simulation also that first dominant order harmonic is 2 MF plus minus 1. Here in this case it is 39 and 41. Clear with me? Same way next 2 MF plus minus 3, it is 37 and 43. So you can see next level is this is 37 and this is 43. This one. Clear? In the next level, it is what? 4 MF plus minus 1. It means 79 and 81. 4 MF plus minus 1. So you can see that that is 79. This one 80 is almost 0, and this is 81. Clear? And then 4 MF plus minus 3. 4 MF plus minus 3 is 77 and 83. So you can see that this is 77 and this is the 83. Okay. Here I can measure up to 90,000 because my maximum frequency is 4,500. If I increase the frequency like 6,000, so I can get the harmonics for the next level up to 120, 120 whatever harmonics. Clear? So this way you can find out the dominant of the harmonics. Now give me the answer that which technique is better for the harmonic point of view, or for the designing the filter to remove the harmonics in the inverter, bipolar technique or unipolar technique. Yes, anyone? Give me the answer. Which technique is better, bipolar technique or unipolar technique in terms of harmonic reduction by using the filter? In which technique the filter size is less? Or in which technique filter size is high? Yes, anyone?
In bipolar, filter size is less.
In bipolar, filter size is less. Why? Why? Can you justify your answer? What is the dominant or the harmonic in the bipolar case with the same frequency of carrier signal? What is the dominant or the harmonics? MF and MF plus minus 2. Here we take MF same because carrier frequency is 1000. Yes? Sorry?
20.
Yes, 20 is the first dominant of the harmonic, then MF plus minus 2, it means 18 and 22. So as the frequency order decreases, the size of filter is increased or decreased? What is basically filter component, inductor and capacitor? Now, in last lecture, I think we have discussed that inductor and capacitor that is inversely proportional to frequency. As the frequency increases, the value of L and C is decreases. It means the size of inductor and capacitor will decrease. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
here dominant order harmonic is what 20, 18 and 22, which as a lower order as compared to the frequency of harmonic we get in the unipolar case. In the unipolar, first dominant order harmonic is what 39 and 41. So that dominant order harmonic frequency is higher in case of unipolar as compared to the bipolar. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So removing the 39 and 41 order harmonics, we require the small size of the filter because frequency is high of this harmonic 39 and 41. So value of LNC required small. Clear? As compared to the bipolar case where dominant order harmonic is 18 and 20 and 22. So frequency is less in the case. So that's why we require the large size of the filter in case of bipolar as compared to the unipolar case. So which technique is better now?
Unipolar.
Unipolar in terms of harmonic design, in terms of economical size of filter, we generally prefer to use the unipolar PWM, unipolar SPWM techniques. Clear? So this dominant order harmonic is depend upon which parameter? कोना ऊपर depend करें this dominant order harmonics? Frequency modulation ratio MF. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And frequency modulation ratio is depend upon which two frequency?
Carrier frequency and fundamental frequency of sine wave.
Fundamental frequency. Okay. So can we change the reference signal frequency? Can we change the reference signal frequency? In most of the cases, our frequencies remain 50 Hz. Yes or no? Our reference signal frequencies remain as it is 50 Hz. Clear. So we not much change the value of reference signal. The sine wave frequency will not generally change. So we require the 50 Hz, but lower order harmonics must be less. So generally we change the frequency of carrier signal only. Clear. So frequency modulation ratio MF that is depend upon the frequency of carrier signal, this frequency of this triangle signal. So as you increase the frequency of carrier signal, what will happen? The frequency modulation ratio will increase, and if the frequency modulation ratio is increased, the lower order harmonics decreases. So ultimately the size of filter will decreases because dominant order harmonic you get with the high frequency, so then you require a small size of the filter to filter out this dominant order harmonics. Clear? So that's why where our main aim is to reduce the lower order harmonic. At that time we select the high frequency carrier signal so that we can get the high value of MF, so that at the output voltage we get the higher magnitude of higher order harmonics and magnitude of lower order harmonic become less, so that ultimately we can reduce the size of filter. But again there is the one drawback of increasing the frequency of this carrier signal. The drawback is what? As we increase the frequency, we require the more number of turn on and turn off of the thyristors. Clear? So switching loss of the inverter is increases, ultimately efficiency of the inverter will decreases. Clear? So you have to compromise between the efficiency of the inverter and harmonic content in the output voltage. So based on your requirement, you select the different PWM techniques. Clear? So this is all about the bipolar and unipolar technique comparison. So in exam, suppose you may ask that write down the comparison between unipolar and bipolar technique. So you can also write down this comparison points. Clear? So here I complete the simulation of unipolar technique. Is there any doubt in the simulation? Or is there any doubt in the theory portion of this technique? Yes or no? Is there a doubt? Is there any question to you? कोई question है?
सर ये हमने मतलब खाली रेजिस्टिव लोड के साथ किया, मतलब तो इंडक्टिव कैपेसिटिव वगैरह के साथ क्यों नहीं?
Yeah, you can do it. But for simply understand the operation of this bipolar and unipolar techniques, we just use the resistive load. You can use also inductive load. In inductive load, what will happen? In the unipolar case, you get the positive as well as negative, because if you take the inductor first charge in the positive output magnitude and then after it discharge, so that it gives a negative output voltage. But ultimately that gives a positive output voltage in the first half cycle and negative output voltage in the next half cycle. Clear? You can do it for the other also, but just for understanding the simple operation for function of this unipolar and bipolar technique, just take the resistive unit. Clear? Is there any other doubt to anyone? Yes?
સર આપણે જે કેરિયર વેવ અને જે ફંડામેન્ટલ એ બેની પીકમાં વધારે પડતો ડિફરન્સ હોય તો હાર્મોનિક ડિસ્ટોર્શનમાં કઈ ફરક પડે?
Yes, very good question. So you can see here theory. Sorry. Yes. Now you can see here this waveform of bipolar technique. Here the peak value of triangular is slightly higher than the sine wave. Here. So what will happen here at the peak of this sine wave, the width of the gate pulse will increase is very high. You can see here. So as the width of gate pulse is high, it means that your thyristor will turn on for the large duration, so that it gives a more output voltage. So it gives a more output voltage for the long duration period. So as you can see that the switching number of switching instance that is increases as the peak of this triangle is more nearer to the peak of sine wave. But suppose that the peak of sine wave is very lower than this value of triangle wave. Suppose it is half of the triangle wave. So what will happen? The gate pulse duration at the omega t is equal to 90 degree that you get for the small duration of period. Let's do it by the experiment so you can easily understand it. So here is the bipolar technique simulation. Here I take the magnitude 9.5 of sine wave. That is the peak amplitude. And the peak of the triangular wave is 10. Clear? Suppose I take the peak of this sine wave 5. Clear? Now let's check the gate pulse. So now you can see that here the peak of sine wave is almost half of the peak of this triangle wave. Clear? Peak of sine wave is 5 and peak of triangle is 10. Now you can see that here, in this case, sine wave is greater than this triangle wave between these two distance, around 90 degree. Clear? So you get this width of gate pulse. Clear? But suppose that your sine wave peak is nearer to the 10, but below the 10 here. So the width of gate pulse will increase. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So as the width of gate pulse is increased, it means width of output voltage pulse is increased. It means you get the more voltage. You get the more voltage, it means you get the more power. Clear? But at the same time, what will happen? In the case of this, where a peak is very lower than the peak of triangle wave, the number of pulses width will decreases, so that the harmonics also increases. Clear? So the effect of this modulation ratio that creates the effect on the magnitude of the output voltage. Clear? But not more the effect on the harmonics. Clear? But the frequency of this triangular wave that creates the more impact on the harmonic content in the output wave. Understand all of it?
Yes, sir.
So there are two ratios as we see in the theory. One is frequency modulation ratio. Frequency modulation ratio means ratio of carrier wave frequency to ratio of fundamental frequency. Clear? So this ratio that control the harmonics in your output voltage. Where another ratio, which is the modulation ratio, which is the ratio of peak of sine wave divided by peak of triangle wave. Yeah. So if the value of this modulation ratio is nearer to the 1, then your output voltage is more. It means you get the more output power, so the efficiency of the inverter is high. But here in this case, you can see that your sine wave is almost half of this peak of the triangle wave. So in that case, your gate pass is very small as compared to the if your sine wave is near to the 10. So that your output voltage is also less. It means your output power is less. So overall efficiency of the inverter will decrease. So modulation ratio, amplitude modulation ratio, that control the magnitude of the output voltage, and frequency modulation ratio that control the harmonic content in output. I think it is clear to all. Clear, all of you?
સર
Yes.
આ કેસમાં સર એફએફટી એનાલિસિસમાં THD કેટલો આવશે?
Let's see this THD. See, THD is 150%. But this 150% is, the meaning is what? This 150% is that your dominant of the harmonic, which is 20, 18 and 22, that magnitude is very high as compared to the fundamental version. That's why you get the THD more than 100% in this case. Here, where in the case of unipolar technique, I think you get almost 90 or 98%. Let's see this. Sorry, it is a 76% only. Almost half of the bipolar technique. Here. So in this case, you can see that THD is also less. Yeah, so this point also you can write in the comparison between FFT, comparison between bipolar and unipolar technique. All of you clear this simulation? Both the simulation, bipolar and unipolar?
Yes, sir.
I hope that all of you are submitted with the bipolar technique simulation. So before the next week, please submit with this simulation of unipolar technique. So today I will provide this assignment as an assignment, this experiment number 2.2. Clear? These are the same experiment. First part bipolar technique and second part is this unipolar technique. So that's why I give the name bipolar technique experiment 2.1 and this I give the name experiment number 2.2. Okay. So next lecture I will start the simulation of three-phase inverter. The theory of that we already started. Three-phase inverter, 180-degree mode and 120-degree mode. So before the next class we complete the theory of that, so that we can understand the simulation easily. So here I complete this lab session. If you have any doubt, you can ask the question. Otherwise, you can leave this meeting. Is there a doubt to anyone?
No, sir.